All right, well, new at 4 today, the Ohio Department of Education has released school report cards for districts throughout the state, giving both the schools and parents of students a chance to see how districts are rated.
There are some changes, though, to this year's ratings report. Schools didn't receive an overall rating this year like they have in years past. Instead, the new report card includes several categories with how schools were ranked from 1 star to 5 stars. And here are the categories that they used: achievement, early literacy, graduation rates, progress, gap closing, along with college, career workforce, and military readiness.
Well, you can head over to WKYC.com right now. We posted a link to the entire report, and there you can find a way to search for any school district in the state. And there are some really great takeaways and some not so great takeaways, dependent upon what school district you're looking at.
It's a mixed bag.
It is.
I think that's safe to say. Now, those 6 key components also highlighting areas that need improvement as well.
Exactly, and that's actually where, of course, a lot of eyes are focused on Cleveland schools, the second largest school district in the state. They've had some problems before, but I gotta tell you, it's not all bad news for Cleveland. January Keaton has details and joins us now from the newsroom. January.
Yeah, it definitely is good news. I wrote we made the grade because really we did by comparison to how we could have done. Superintendent Eric Gordon, he told me this report card should be something that all Cleveland educators, parents, students, the family pet should even be proud of this. Although the pandemic did hit CMSD kind of hard. Let's get the bad news out of the way first, shall we? Now, out of those 6 ratings we mentioned earlier, early literacy ranked low, but that was for pretty much every district across the state. And that can be explained, of course, by the new world of wearing masks and trying to have remote education. That made learning and retaining literacy skills kind of difficult for the kids. CMSD graduation rates, they also dropped about 6 points, but that can be explained by students not getting the credits they would had they physically been in labs and had access to things like hands-on career tech courses. But Gordon says the good news is actually pretty great.
Our achievement scores have rebounded to pre-pandemic levels, and more importantly, our gap closing and our progress measures were 4 stars each, which ranks us the top urban in Ohio.
What strategy for that? Now, when I asked him, I said, you mean urban school district? He said, yeah, CMSD is ranked the #1 urban school district in the state. The state used to use an overall rating before this, but the pandemic changed so many things. This year, they instead went with a 1 through 5 star rating for those 6 categories we mentioned. Now, CMSD, it's the only district that got a 4-star rating in gap closing and, along with Toledo, got a 4-star rating in progress. And those are the 2 most important of the 6 ratings because they show the district is rebounding to its pre-pandemic progress. Say that 3 times fast, Betsy and Jay. Now, if you'd like to see the report card for your specific school district or more on CMSDs, we put the link on our website, WKYC.com.
Yeah, and there is so much information that's in these report cards, and there's graphs and all kinds of stuff. But the one thing that stood out to me, January, was that Cleveland has a 62.3% chronic absence rate.
Yes.
So they're seeing these improvements despite the fact they have chronic absence that is definitely above average. So kudos to CMSD teachers.
Working
Your
hard.
work is being noted. It is good stuff.
Absolutely.
So, great. Thanks so much, January.
Now, looking into some of the scores outside of CMSD schools districts like Solon and Chagrin Falls, they did very well. Those schools all scored 5 stars, Betsy, across the board in all of the categories that we mentioned.
And you would expect them to, because they are top schools in the state year after year after year. We also look, of course, at districts like Canton and Lorain and Akron City schools that lag behind in areas like early literacy, progress, achievement, and graduation rates, scoring a 1 out of 5 in almost all 6 categories. That's tough news to absorb. Now ahead at 5 on What's Now, Carmen Blackwell joins us with even more school report card results in Northeast Ohio. We're going to dig into some of the largest out of the state's 608 districts. And Carmen will tell us about even more possible changes to how these report cards will be scored in the future. That is ahead at 5 on What's Now.